It's wild, right? We've got AI writing essays. We got apps deciding for us. We got shopping delivered in minutes. Everything's optimized. Yet, maybe, are we optimized too? Like, are we actually getting smarter or just better at scrolling? Because here's one thing 100, maybe more than 100 years ago, P.D. Ouspensky, a philosopher, a Russian philosopher, in fact, had a lot to say about this. And honestly, might have just called us out in the worst way. He believed that most of us lived in a state of waking sleep, repeating the same habits, some same thoughts, same emotions, without even realizing it. In other words, that we live in autopilot. Sounds familiar? Hi, I am Dr. Leah Roth. And yes, of course, I have an issue of commitment, but only of my free time. And here you are, listening to Fuck Freud. We are unpacking the unconscious, breaking down this question. Are we evolving or just getting better at distracting ourselves from reality? Today, we're talking about something that's low key and unsettling, the fact that we humans forget ourselves all the time. We wake up for a moment, glimpse reality, make a list of all the to do things we want for our lives, and then we go right back into mechanical living, routine, and awareness. And trust me, once you see it, it's difficult to unsee it. We built a world that caters to every comfort, instant entertainment, instant shopping, instant dopamine. But somehow, with all this progress, we still struggle with the same things: overthinking, anxiety, loneliness, feeling stuck in the patterns we don't understand. We wake up, have breakfast, go to the gym, go to work, have lunch, have dinner, come back, maybe we do something, rinse, repeat. Ouspensky would call these mechanical living, acting out patterns we didn't even choose consciously. We didn't choose them. We react, we cope, we chase comfort, and we don't stop to question, who am I outside my habits? This Russian philosopher, P.D. Ouspensky, proved his point in a very simple yet very effective way. He told his students, set a timer and think and stay in the present, just thinking about yourself. Think about your name. Just stay there, thinking about your name. Sounds easy, right? Can you try it? Well, this is what happened. His students lasted for about 2 minutes. When they tried it again, it was even less than 2 minutes. Awareness just rebels itself and slips away. We are addicted to autopilot. We fall onto it so easy we don't even realize. Yes, I hear you from here, but that was a guy from 150 years ago. Who knows? It's an old school. What are you doing, Dr. Roth? Well, let me tell you. I'll throw in Mark Solms, neuropsychoanalyst of our times. And what did he do? He was studying mindfulness. He was scanning brains, right? Like we do nowadays, and studying self-awareness. And what happened? Two completely different approaches. One philosopher of 100 plus years ago, the other one of now at times with, technology helping figure out what's going on with our brain. And what do we get? The same brutal truth. We're thinking we're in control of our lives while we are actually letting everything run 90% on autopilot. Yep. So here's the real talk of today. Can we actually evolve if we let life slap us around, if we're stuck bouncing between moods and urges, are we really living? We're just letting life go through like a storyline on NPC. Growth isn't about waking up for 5 seconds, sleeping deep, and going back to the same BS. It's about staying awake, actually picking a lane instead of trading your soul for a little bit of validation, approval, and a hit of dopamine. So, this podcast is not a lukewarm self help takes in mini bites. No, we're here to shake the system because come Monday, you're expected to clock in physically, emotionally, and mentally. You're not here to answer emails all day or make Jeff Bezos even richer. You're here on a mission, and that mission is making the world a better place for all. And that starts with you clocking in your internal world. So let's move on this episode today. We were talking about autopilot, realizing the scary real, truth that we are 90% going on. Take me, I'll go anyway. It's like, no. Anyhow, now we have to approach the topic of ego. Do we have one ego? Do we have more than one? The ego, that sense of I, of me. Um, well, we have three takes on this. Dr. Solms, Freud's, and Ouspensky. I'm going to go that line. First, Mark Solms' research shows that the ego, your sense of I, as I mentioned, isn't some solid, stable thing. It's a process, a flickering, shifting state that most of the time operates unconsciously. What does that mean for us? It means, once again, that we're not as self aware as we believe. Yeah, you have it. So that was Mark Solms. For Freud, the ego isn't in charge of anything, it's a negotiator. He saw the ego like not as a power player of the psyche, but more as a stressed out like middle manager caught between the impulses of the id, the guilt tripping superego, and whatever the external world throws at us constantly. So your ego spends all day running negotiations like do this to fit in, don't do that, people might judge you, chase this, it'll make you feel good, avoid that, it'll be painful. We think we're making conscious choices, but most of the time we're just following the strongest pull in the moment between all these different uh, psych parts, the ego, the superego, the external world. We we go through these and we take the easiest path. And these different instances, the id, the superego, the external world, the ego itself, all these instances are usually in conflict. So it's like, I live here in St. Louis, and the weather, it's usually um, thrown by the west, from the east, and from Canada, whoever, we never know what happens. The one moment to the next. Whoever is the strongest, whoever gets the easiest path, that's the weather. That's how we are run. Then we have Ouspensky, who says we don't have just one ego. We have many. We have multiple egos, multiple eyes, if you want to say it that way. We think, like, let's say, at 10 p.m., you're stuck, committed to self improvement, setting alarm, laying your clothes, getting ready for the following day. Because the following day, you are committed, you're going to wake up and go for a run. What happens the following day? The alarm wakes you up, your arm stretches out, and you just hit that snooze for 10 more minutes. Well, for Ouspensky, that was not different states of your eye, like Dr. Solms would say. Those are different eyes by themselves. One is committed to self discipline, the other one wants to take it easy. We shift between different eyes and we don't even notice. One day we want one thing, the other day we want something else. We tell ourselves we're just changing our minds. But for Ouspensky, that was not it. We're just switching personas, each one believing it's the real you. So if you stay on autopilot, if we keep shifting between different versions of ourselves, totally unaware, are we really living or just being lived? And why do we keep slipping into autopilot? How do we stop? Here's the other thing. Your brain, your brain's number one job is efficiency, not happiness, not I want to reach a dream. It's not self actualization, just running on familiar patterns with minimal effort, efficiency. So let's go back and review. The problem is not just that we shift between different eyes, as Ouspensky would say. One day we want love, the next day we want revenge. One minute we're committed to a self care kick, the next time we want just to follow the soap opera. We fragment, we forget, we default. We think we are making choices when we're really just rerunning old programmings. If we think that we are in control, Freud reminds us that the ego, our I, is just a middle manager, stuck between the messy impulses of the id, the guilt tripping of the superego, and whatever the external nonsense comes at us, which is pleasure. Avoid embarrassment, try to fit in, want to be seen, and all that is negotiation. If that is not enough, Dr. Solms says we're constantly shifting states, unaware, mostly unconscious. Our brain loves the efficiency of routine life and autopilot. How can we grow then? Dr. Leah, you are not telling us nothing nice here. We're like shackled forever. Do you have any ideas? Is this something that you've been thinking about? DM me. I might feature it the next episode. In the meantime, let's go and move forward on this episode. If we are running on habit, what's the way out? Easy. Interrupt yourself. Take pause and observe. Growth requires catching the moment where you're about to slip into routine, into distraction, into reaction, into seeking validation, so that you can choose with purpose. Growth starts the second you catch yourself doing it. That exact moment when you realize you're going back on autopilot, letting that routine kick in. Because here's where choice happens between stimuli and consequence, between stimuli and response. There is a space. Do you know what lives there? Freedom of choice. Your freedom of choice. You don't need to react to fall back on script. You can choose different. Even if you don't know how people might react and you're kind of concerned about judgment, test your world. You might be surprised. And if you're concerned about judgment and you rather stay safe and in the comfort zone, consider what that means when you let others run your life. So if we think one way, we feel another, and we act on pure impulse, growth isn't about more. It's about getting your mind, your heart, and actions on the same page, actually choosing your life instead of being dragged through life. Drag through what you consider others might want from you. Drag through the easiest choice because you know how people react to when you do that thing. So maybe self growth isn't about fixing yourself, it's about catching yourself in the act. It's about interrupting the sleep before you snooze your whole damn life away. Near awakenings are when your brain wakes up to life, breaking the autopilot, forming new neural connections and heightening awareness. So maybe evolution isn't about fixing ourselves. Maybe this soul awakening is about opening our hearts, ourselves, and, and staying open long enough to live with purpose. Not a new self, but a self that stops putting the stick on the wheel, stops that internal fight between your thoughts, emotions, and actions, between what others expect of you and what you wish for yourself, for your life. A self that is aligned in mind and spirit with the values, with those values that are worth an effort. Growth isn't about waking up once, it's about interrupting the sleep before we drift off again. That's the power of you. More awake so you can stand tall and be loyal to yourself before you're loyal to anyone else. Because growth happens in those split seconds when you need to choose stay asleep or stay loyal to your own path. Yes, self loyalty starts with self awareness, and self awareness is not something you achieve, it's a muscle you train. For that reason, today's challenge is just a 24-hour exercise. You can do it the rest of the week, but here we are. In the next 24 hours, pause and observe, interrupt patterns, and get uncomfortable. That is, number one, pause and ask yourself, am I into this or just playing along, running a script? Do I agree or disagree with this? Or is there a gain involved that is driving my choice? What's one micro action I can take today to be more aligned with my real path? Or just pause before reacting when your boss says something that throws you off. That single moment of awareness rewires your emotional habits. Number two, interrupt your patterns, activating the problem solving regions of your brain by, for instance, using a new word in conversation because language shapes our thought patterns. Or change your dominant eye if you're about to take a picture or you need to aim with an eye closed. Change your dominant eye. These are tiny shifts, but major awakenings. Number three, get uncomfortable on purpose. Comfort keeps us asleep. Challenge yourself mentally, physically, emotionally. Stretch beyond convenience. Growth isn't found in ease. It's built in the moments you resist instant gratification and choose something bigger, something that lasts longer. Take a cold plunge or shower. Those immediate shocks wakes up the nervous system. Stare at a candle in silence for 3 minutes, which heightens your focus and stillness. Or walk backwards, so long it's safe. Even a few steps, it forces your brain to recalibrate. And yes, of course, DM me. Let me know how it went. What did you notice? Did you catch yourself defaulting to old habits? Did you feel the pull of validation? Let's unpack it together.